call it delivery workflow. And as you can see here, the input is zip file, render package. Then we hold also more than one product, so we need a product name which helps us to identify the inbound and outbound XML. Of course, the version. Then the edit mode allows us to make a full automated, which in case of no edit is a full automated processing. In edit mode, we handle those cases where the delivery, the package has not the outbound XML. So we generated it, okay, on the fly. Yeah, the other are just for convenience. And then the environment identifies here not the deploy environment later on as well, but in this case it defines the ARA environment, because we have XL deploy for for dev, for prod, for UAT. So we say where to import the deployables to, in which repository. As in case of ARA, there is no importing. We just create a Nexus archive. Yeah. So we are already trying to handle more than one case. So let's do a sample. I have created a special DevOpsCon package. Yeah. So the vendor package is here. Now we say the product is DevOpsCon. And with this we identify the outbound and inbound XML. The version, I will make a really new version here. Let's say 10. No, you can change here the version if you like, but normally you should take the version from the vendor package. I just want to show that you can change it. And then I choose edit, then you can see the real outbound and inbound XMLs. And what else? Yeah, then I have a local instance of XL deploy running. It imports into my local instance. And then, okay, in this case, I know we are using REST API, or we're using as an ARA tool XL deploy, so we don't need Nexus here. Otherwise, it would also uploaded it to a Nexus repository. As you can see, it shows us the package content, and now this is the outbound XML. It shows us what's in the package, what has arrived. It's of course it's not the full automated version here. It's like the beginning. If you want to create a full automated process, you just see what is in the package, and then you see, okay, there are no release notes, for example, in this case. But we have already defined an outbound XML which we have versioned in-house. Okay? So there's no need for Prosa or Lyric release note PDF anymore, because we created already some release notes in-house for this package, which are machine readable, and that's a big difference. And in this case, I defined only a deployable an archive, which is a Taji Z. Okay. Mostly in this archive you find daemons, backend processes, end-of-day processes, or migration scripts, all the stuff. And this has a configuration section which is here. And now the point is that normally you define in a Word document, okay, in this package we have a new property which is configurable by the client. For example, okay, the resource should be D. Let's say, okay, this is new here. JGroups TCP binary address. This is new. This should be written in a release note as a text, as a phrase. Now I put it as a machine readable item here, and then it gets directly automatically tokenized and also configurable in the dictionary. And the nice thing about dictionary is that once you want to deploy and you forget to set a value, it doesn't allow you to deploy. It says this value is new, it has no value. This key is new, it has no value. I don't deploy that. Yeah, you are prohibited to deploy because this application configuration item is not not filled by an application owner. Yeah. So it helps us to save time because in the beginning we have deployed and 2 days later we found out that we didn't configure this property. Yeah, this is normal business. It has been normal business. Okay. So a lot of what you want to configure or what has changed, what has been removed, you cannot really define here, but it will be identified automatically by the DelOps processor or missing link processor. It compares, it says, okay, this is the full description of the configuration, and if something is missing and the dictionary has a key more, it says, okay, here's a mismatch. We need to delete this one. It can make problems. Okay, this I showed you already, documentation. And if you like, in the end, of course, you can write some text as well. And you see, here is the inbound XML, which identifies the mapping is between the deployable and the file. Okay, the file comes into a target variable, which will be defined in the ARA tool. The ARA tool has a dictionary. This is nothing else than a key value pair, which key is defined in the ARA tool and has a value and will be used during deployment time. Yeah, and some other values which are specific to the ARA tool you have. Yeah? If you don't want to use the ARA tool, you can use some of your own scripts as well. So it's actually the same approach. And as you can see here, the properties file is an own deployable. It's not part, or it can also be part of a package, but in this case, it's an own deployable. It could be also inside the tar file. Normally, the property files are inside the tar file, but it can be also handled as an own deployable. So now what you see here is the delivery processor, or missing link processor. We use it. What you see here is a version of continuous integration. As soon as we change our source code, this runs to make sure that each package is handled exactly like before. Okay, this is the approach of continuous integration with continuous deployment into int, not into production, into an int environment, integration environment. Okay. The deployment will be done later, not here. This is just the integration or the processing of the package with help of the inbound and outbound XML into an ARA tool. And you see here what we you see the local host 4516. This is our local instance of the ARA tool. You will see later. I go into the ARA tool and you see the result of this run here. Okay.
Question about how you verify the new deliverable is providing the changes you expect or you requested. Do you build tests, spoke tests, or end-to-end tests for that, or is the vendor providing some sort of tests?
We hope that the vendor is doing enough, but nevertheless we are doing it as well. But because we don't trust the vendor. Yeah, we have an own UAT testing department. Yeah, they do Tosca tests and HP ALM tests as well. But normally it should not be done. Normally the vendor should do all the necessary tests.
But functional tests. The new deliverable should contain some new functionality.
Yeah.
And how do you know to adapt the tests? Do you talk to the vendor before and say we want to have this and this and this?
Yes.
You create the test for that. So when the deliverable arrives, you install it and then run the test on that.
The real vital functional tests are tested by humans still. Yeah, they are not really automated UAT tests. Unfortunately, what we can do, what we can cover up here is only some smoke tests that after the deployment, the package will do what it has to do to boot and to show a screen. We cannot say, okay, this function which has been delivered is now working well automatically. This is the future. This can be done, but not the way we are working now. It's not really. It needs much more knowledge, and also it lacks the people that don't want to do this extra job. That's the main problem, I see. Okay, it has finished. We just go through this one. What you see here is the response of the other tool, which is in this case deploy. And now we can go and see what it has been done. It should be there a 10.9 version with already pre-configured deployables. Let's see if it's really happens. Somebody uses X84 here? DelOps? No? It has a deployment view and a repository view. I don't want to go into deep. And in the repository view, you can see that it has generated in the application a 10.9, which I put in the command line. And here you see the variable which I had in my inbound XML, and here you see the variable as well, and the placeholders which I have defined in my outbound XML. Okay. So what I need to do now is only in quotes to go into my dictionary. For example, I have here the DevOpsCon dictionary, which I use as a UAT dictionary in this case. And you see the target variable which has been defined in my inbound XML has this value. This will be replaced during deployment. Yeah. And the deployment I will not show because this is now standard DevOps. From now on, it's standard DevOps. You can use every integration you want here in this ARA tool, or you don't need to use an ARA tool at all. Yeah? You just need what we want to solve here is the pre-DevOps, yeah, or the consequences of a DevOps from another company, which is just a package, and then they don't deliver sufficient information how to handle that. Yeah, this we want to solve. More or less clear what the objective of the DelOps approach?
Do other people work?
Do what?
Do other people work?
Do other people work?
Yes. The objective is to do the other people work.
Okay, no, I understand. Yeah. It's really to do the other people work, and this is the main problem really, not the technical one. You see, the technical one is very easy.
How many people do you need to run your business to digest the numbers you get?
Oh yeah.
Because you say you save a lot of things because you don't run your own development. So how many people do you need to run this?
This is like we say in German, Milchmädchenrechnung.
Yeah.
I don't know English. Yeah, it's insane. In fact, we spend a lot of money to avoid having that development team in house to program the e-banking application, for example, or trading application. We have a lot of more problems by avoiding that than having them, in my opinion. Yeah? But you cannot convince bankers; they're not IT people. Yeah, and nowadays money is just digits.
So how big is the team?
Which does what?
Like,
Without the solution. Without or with the solution. What we are doing now with the solution, we get rid of a lot of people, which is good for the managers in the bank. They like that. But before, yeah, unfortunately. No, otherwise, no, it's not really true. They have already reduced without the solution to the minimum. So what we are doing, we make our life easier with that. Yeah, that's our objective. Yeah.
So how big is the team?
We are 2 people now.